Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Vegan World 2026 Moonshot podcast. This is episode 31, and today we are going to be talking about World Unity Week, which is coming up in June 19th through 26th. So we're going to talk to Ben Bowler and Becky Suzik, who are organizing the World Unity Week. Ben lives in Australia, so I had to interview him on Sunday. Because it's 1 a.m. in the morning right now for him. And so I'm going to play his interview first, and then we'll bring Becky on and we'll talk about the logistics of what's going on. Okay, here's my share screen. Ben's looking up. Welcome, Ben. Thank you for being here on the Vegan World 2026 Moonshot podcast. So tell our viewers, what are you trying to accomplish with the World Unity Week?
Well, Sailesh, wonderful. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here with you. World Unity Week really is an effort to bring together the many various aspects on fields of transformation which are required on our planet at this time. And of course, as a whole systems thinker, that everything is connected to everything else. So World Unity Week is an opportunity to bring together the whole seed from the indigenous wisdom, which orientated around the mid-year solstice, somewhere in the north, winter here in the south, connection to the cosmos and to the earth itself, all the way through to the International Day of Yoga. World Refugee Day is June 20. The signing of the UN Charter in 1945 was on June 26. So this week around the solstice is a very rich, action-packed period of time. World Peace and Prayer Day has been going for many, many years under Chief Ivor Looking Horse. So there are so many aspects around those few days, Sailesh, that World Unity Week emerged in 2020 as an opportunity to bring it all together and bring all these different themes together and give everybody an opportunity to speak about their passion, their truth, their wisdom at this time of great transformation on the planet. We know we're facing huge challenges. The transition from a world that has worked under a certain domineering profit motive, nation state, vested interest, challenging to go from that into the world we all can feel in our hearts is possible, but we're not there yet. So World Unity Week is an opportunity for us to come together and drive forward together this transformation, whether folks are motivated by a particular activism area, such as climate, or such as human rights, or such as any of the issues that people are gathering for. Our friends EcoPeace in the Middle East are co-conveners, with climate healers, of course, are co-conveners. So many different groups coming together around many different passion areas, but with one understanding, which is that until and unless we come together and connect, these communities of conviction come together and recognize that in your hope and salvation for your initiative lies mine as well, right, and that we need each other in order to get to where we're going. So World Unity Week is that space where all of these things come together, and we have an opportunity to build a community and also to reach out beyond the walls of our current community and bring more hearts and minds into these conversations, which are so crucial right now.
Okay. So you also had this idea of a beloved community by 2030. Is that the goal, ultimate goal of this?
Well, I think certainly the beloved community was one of the themes of the most recent convening that John Ream and the Sign Network had done as a extension and continuation of what we had done together in World Unity Week in 2020. The Martin Luther King honoring the 40 days, this idea of the beloved community is very central to what is emerging. But let's not wait till 2030. I think we can be a beloved community. We're a beloved community right here, right now. And, growing that and extending that. Yes, there is a focus over the next 10 years for World Unity Week and for many other groups, of course, the Sustainable Development Goals. Rabbi Abraham Sotendorp is declaring these 2020s a holy decade to really frame the urgency of the transformation that we need. And we need to engage all of the secular wisdom as well as all of the spiritual power and bring it together. So Martin Luther King is a great icon. Of course, there are many champions and heroes and way showers for our human family. And this idea of a beloved community, yes, is very much at the center, at the heart of what we are and what we are becoming more of.
Okay. Yeah, when we converge like this, we sort of make each other better at what we do. Right? So is that the idea, the cross-pollination that happens between these different communities?
Absolutely. And you know, the other thing too, I think, Salish, which is really important, we do improve each other. We learn from each other. We can improve ourselves. But also we can, by connecting, we can see how strong we are. If we can connect all of these different passion areas, all of these different activism groups, all of these different evolutionary cells together to form a larger body of transformation on the planet, I believe there's great hope in us realizing how many we are across the planet. People of the heart, people of goodwill, people of conscience, people of good faith, coming together and realizing our systems are not serving us anymore. Systems that we created as humanity are not serving us anymore. And when we come together, we can recognize that we have the power. We have the power to transform the way we show up on the planet and in the world. And by really connecting many different groups together, we can form that larger body, that mass that we all know we need right now. We can't wait any longer. It's urgent now for us to become the massive movement we all know we are. And yet it's connecting the movement and empowering the movement to really show up in its own power, to reclaim our own power, to be the change we want to see in the world and that we need to see in the world right now.
Right. So was the first World Unity Week last year? Is that when it first started?
That's right. So in 2020, World Unity Week emerged between Unity Earth had been doing these series of global events around the planet. We had a very large gathering in the Holy Land in February 2020, commemorating the United Nations World Interfaith Harmony Week. And we were getting ready for our grand finale of the Caravan of Unity across America. And then the world got shut down.
Right.
So in those conversations, World Unity Week emerged as what can we do now in this space that's been created by the global shutdown and by coronavirus? What can we do that we haven't done before? And we've convened 130 different global organizations, very diverse organizations came together, the rising power of civil society, and really co-convened World Unity Week and declared World Unity Week in 2020, which really we're seeing, Sailesh, as an origin year. 2020, in a sense, was the end of one period of human history and the beginning of the next. So we are in what we consider to be year one of the new era, year one of the new decade. And it's all systems go. We get to really now come together, create new systems, finance new systems, organize new systems, and be that conscious transformation on the planet. And the future is ours to create.
So how many organizations were part of World Unity Week last year, and how many are part of World Unity Week this year?
So last year we had 130 convening organizations, and this year it will be that plus more, because everybody is yes again.
Right.
Everybody is saying yes, let's do this. Let's do something together. Now they might be saying let's do something for climate justice, or let's do something for human rights, or let's do something for racial equality. All of these things, as we are understanding deeper and deeper, are deeply connected. And even just in the conversation we were having before recording today, this idea of the killing culture, the killing machine on the planet, whether it's the animal agricultural industry, the fishing industry, the pharmaceutical, medical industry, all driven by the profit motive, all driven by a kind of greed to more. And I think, really what we're talking about is transitioning out of that. So, yes, many organizations coming together, everybody's in, everybody's saying, yes, let's do this. And in World Unity Week is a seed of a kind of a new earth consciousness transformation where all of these elements are connected. and we recognize our agency, both to be destructive on the earth and to be creative for a new way of being on the earth. So it's a great space of coming together, of unity, of wholeness, of transformation, and of inspiration as well.
Yes, I was talking about the supremacism, right, that is built into our system. Fundamentally, once you gain an advantage in the current system, you're allowed to keep it and then use it to exploit whoever doesn't have that advantage.
Yeah.
So I see, our human supremacism that makes us exploit animals is the bedrock on which all other forms of supremacism gets watered. So white supremacism, male supremacism, they all come from the origin of human supremacism.
Yes.
So it's really about letting go of that and saying, no, we are part of life and we are just another member of the part of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very profound insight. I mean, for me, Sash, I've been vegan for about 5 years, and it was built upon our son, who was 3 years old when he elected to stop eating meat once he found out where it came from. So for a number of years before that, had been vegetarian, and then pescatarian, and then went on that sort of sliding scale of going vegan. Cowspiracy was a very convincing movie, but I think I was ready at the time. It wasn't just the movie. I think I was ready to go to the next step. And for me, it's really the animal agriculture itself. I mean, look, if there's 500 million people on the planet and people have sustainable methods of agriculture, regenerative agriculture, and people are taking a little bit of meat, I actually don't have a problem with that, personally. But when it comes to 8 billion people and the industry that's destroying the forests and destroying the ecosystems just to feed our desire to eat meat, then it's become a sickness and it's become a destructive force that needs to stop. So, I'm so supportive of you and what you're doing with Vegan World 2026. I think it's essential, this idea of really educating people and encouraging people to take that step. And really grateful for the work that you're doing at Climate Healers and all of the groups that you're bringing together. So we're excited that you're a part of World Unity Week and that we are working. We've been working together for some time. I remember the Parliament of World's Religions in Toronto at the Toronto Convergence, and many other groups that are coming online at this time. The challenge is great. But as you say, we've got to stay optimistic and stay hopeful and keep believing that it's impossible until it's done, as you were saying before. So I think it's just more strength and more power, Dr. Silas Rao, to you and to all the work you're doing.
More strength to you, Ben. Your leadership is so essential for getting all of us together and making this happen. I'm so grateful to you for what you started last year. We took a lot of your infrastructure and we used it for the Vegan World 2026 convergence. So we've been building on what you did, what you and John and Becky put together. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's great. And I think, from that, little seeds, big things can grow. And last year, yes, World Unity Week was born. Purpose Earth emerged, which is an incredible force for good. Many other beautiful things have come out of the challenging situation of a global shutdown and the unique situation that 2020 presented for the whole planet. The whole planet having a shared experience. That alone has never happened. That the entire planet had a shared experience, apart from maybe 1969, the moon landing, but that was a fleeting kind of moment. But to have a deeply personally felt shared experience, I think it's given us an opportunity to get to a new stage of our unity consciousness. And yes, that we really open that up, that it's not just about human unity, that it's really about that interconnectedness with all of life that you and many others are advocating for. And there are signs of hope. You see many transformations, and many you must see as well, Silas, many people coming on board, many people making the different choices and decisions. And we do have the power to transform the state of life on Earth. We've done that in a destructive way for many decades, and now we have an opportunity to consciously turn the ship around and to consciously create, to steward, to cultivate the garden of life that we know this planet is destined to become.
That's what's behind me, the Garden of Life. That used to be a coffee plantation in 2000, I think 1999 or something like that, and then it turned into this by 2009.
Oh, beautiful.
So it is possible for life. Life, of course, is itching to come back. It's itching to heal, and it's up to us to step out of the way and let her do it.
Yes.
And so, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your service, for years of service. I've known you for several years now, and I'm continually inspired by your passion and your dedication and what you've accomplished. So thank you for being who you are. Any last thoughts you want to leave us with?
Well, I just to shout out to your people that are with us here watching and connecting to this, Sailesh, to really call each individual into your fullest expression of who you are, and your mission and what you're here to do. You see so many people stepping forward, and sometimes it takes courage because you're not sure how we're going to pay the bills. What's my finances going to look like? How can I do all of this and raise a family and fulfill my calling? But I have great trust and faith, Sailesh, that as each individual steps deeper and deeper into that sacred mission, like you have, and like so many, in our beloved community, that are stepping into their fullness of their yes to life, to the divine, and saying, yes, whatever it takes, I'm here. I don't know how it's going to work out. There are so many gaps in how we don't have to have it all figured out. But just to really call on folks to step across that threshold, take that leap of faith. Leap and the net will appear, to step into and make a decision today to go deeper into your calling and your mission, because the world needs people who have come alive. So really, to all of the community, I'm grateful for what everybody is doing, and let us together go deeper into our yes. Let us go deeper into our commitment to fulfill this mission together, collectively, individually, and as a whole human family. We can do it, and we need everyone on board. So thank you for giving the platform. We look forward to seeing you all in World Unity Week and beyond that. And let's shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, let's go deeper into our calling. And yes, we can and we will affect this transformation of life on planet Earth.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Sailesh. Thank you for having me.
Well, that's a tough act to follow, but I know you can do it, Becky.
Wow. I'm so inspired by Ben Bowler. And just so
Just
grateful.
Sorry
We
about
have
that.
a music interlude.
Musical interlude. That's my yoga. That's my yoga video.
Oh, it's so powerful to hear more of his vision and how so many of us are hearing the call, because we have a similar vision for this new story, this new world that we're building together. And I'm so grateful to you, Dr. Sailesh, for what you're doing, for how you encourage and nurture people to step into their gifts and to their experiments on their journey, like your encouragement of me as I'm going vegan, and how, I mean, you're such an inspiration, and you share things in a way that people can find a way in. There's not a judgment, there's an inspiration. And so I'm very grateful for the way you are and the way you offer your work in the world and share your knowledge and your wisdom. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Becky. I mean, I'm so grateful for what you started, what you and John and Ben put together last year. Because that was my first introduction to the Trello boards and the Zoom rooms and the chaos that happens there. And suddenly you get this beauty emerging out of the chaos.
That's right. And we don't quite know, like the Lotus. I joined World Unity Week after it had been announced, and building up to World Unity Week last year, they had 6 weeks to nurture what was coming into being. And when I joined, I heard the words World Unity Week, And we were actually on holiday. We were camping, my husband, my son and I, and my daughters were still at home. And I had to travel back to pick them up to bring them to the campsite. But I told my husband, I'm going to be gone for a while because there's this thing. I don't know quite what it is, but it's called World Unity Week. And I have to fill out an application because I know I have to be there. I just knew the words. I didn't know who was involved. I did know John Raymer, but I didn't know that he was actually involved with World Unity Week. It just became such a light to me, the three words, the potential of what World Unity Week could be. And then when I came, it was after spending many hours filling out the application, we were delayed getting back to the camping, and it was completely worth it. When it began, and I recognized this is an emergence. This convergence is something that is co-created, and it needed many hearts, and actually still needs many hearts and many hands to do the lifting, to bring people together to this nutritive well of knowledge, of wisdom, of kindness, of gifts. And I could see different pieces that I held of the puzzle that I wanted to bring, that I wanted to offer as a gift. And no longer did I feel that I was there to present. I felt I was there to do things to amplify people like you and people who were presenting in the different convergence rooms, because their messages were so needed, and like I said, nutritive, and a balm for what the world is going through and what humanity is going through. And so it was like a drop. It was drop everything mode for me. And ever since, it's been a year. It's been a year, and we've had other convergences, and your convergence was born, Vegan World 2026, and it's just been the most beautiful work I have, other than being a parent, of my life, to be involved with this, and all of the nitty gritty lovely details that it takes to bring forth a convergence.
Well, you are a parent to this one too.
Yeah, it does feel like a baby. We do this together, and it's one of my greatest joys is when I meet people who've just hearing about World Unity Week for the first time, and they, like me, had this World Unity Week.
Right.
What is this? What is this? Okay, you have me. What is it? Because we know that I am because you are Ubuntu. We know that spiritually, and the world is trying to convince us of otherwise, but we know it. And so World Unity Week draws us together for this possibility to co-create the new story, to share our visions, to share our passions and our joys towards healing each other and healing Mama Earth.
Right. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So this time, how many rooms are you planning? Are there themes to the World Unity Week?
Yes.
Yeah,
so it is emerging. So we have we talk about with heart tips to chickens, the chicken and the egg, which came first, and we are in that phase of, if we're going to have this room, who's going to steward it? So before we announce that we have this room, we need people to hold the container of stewarding as a volunteer role, so that they can help us with the presentations. For example, you're one of the stewards of the Climate Healers Vegan World 2026 room, and you and several others will be inviting people to present or offer their events in your convergence room. But for that, we need your support ushering people through that process, like assigning their time and their schedule in your room, and what do they need to know to present, and all of those kind of details. And so last year, we had 20 convergence rooms during World Unity Week. We may have more this year. We've had more time to share this offering and invite other people in. We've been having monthly assembly programs. We have another one on May 19th, and anyone who's watching is invited to come. We'll share information. How you can find us on the World Unity Week Facebook page. Actually, there's an events listing, and you can see our training schedule there and our assemblies that are listed there. And during the assemblies, we share some of the more nitty-gritty details of how to find your way into expressing your gift, whether it's stewarding a convergence room, or whether it's learning how to be a Zoom host and be behind the scenes and help people go live on Facebook, or whether it's helping out in this place called the Hub, which is sort of like the help desk in the Hotel World Unity Week that you can come to during the event. And we have volunteers around the clock, as this is a global event. And as many hours as we can have personed, we will have open. The hub will be open, helping people find their way into, what's, if somebody's first time and they didn't know how to register, well, this is how you go to worldunityweek.org, and there's a register button, and you register, and then you'll get some email love. So that's there's just many different ways to serve and to support. And also, if you have a special area of focus that you would like to offer a presentation, a 30 or a 60-minute presentation, you're invited to put forth a submission for presenting, and you can you'll be assigned a room if you don't know which room you'd like to offer your program in. So it's all emerging, and this year we're doing the navigation a little different. We are using Trello, like you said. We have this visual organizing system called Trello, which helps our stewards and our presenters, as well as our participants, know what's coming up next in a different convergence room. And that is going to tie into this new thing that we're doing, which is a visual map of the One World universe. And the One World universe will have a space called the Healing Fields. And in the Healing Fields may be Vegan World 2026. We haven't decided where your room is going to be yet, Dr. Silas. We want to talk to you about that, actually. We'll have to talk about that later. But figure out, you'll be able to look at the map and see different spaces in the One World universe, and then different places where events are happening, like convergence rooms. We also have another room that's coming into view, another place called Sacred Sites, Sacred Lands. And that there will be a convergence room, there'll be a Zoom room associated with it, and there also will be an event or many events around the world. They're planning to do a live event from Stonehenge and perhaps Mauna Kea as well. And so there'll be opportunities for us to meet together in Zoom rooms, and then also opportunities for us to watch live streamed events through using this navigation map. And this other layer, this new layer called Sparkleverse, which will give people a different experience of navigating the map. But we have the previous way of navigating, and then we have this new, more immersive experience for those who like to play with filters on their, in their Zoom room and change, have flowers and fairy hair, and I love it. I'm so excited for it. That part's new to me. So.
Is the Sparkleverse
everyone? Yeah.
Sparkleverse is something that the Burning Man community created. Is that what?
That's well, actually, yes, that's right. They are the official. Not sure what the term is, but they created a map for Burning Man last year when it went virtual, and they really got so creative in the way you can use the Zoom room and the way you can use collaborative watch experiences, and they invented this amazing navigation system that we're going to incorporate into World Unity Week this week as a supplemental way. So we'll have that way. You have to be on a PC or a laptop using Chrome. Use Sparkle, at least right now. That's the way that it works. But so if you don't have a PC or a laptop and you prefer to go in through a phone, you can still do that. It just wouldn't be through Sparkle. So, and we'll be explaining those kind of details. But the bottom line with it is it's just so exciting. We are looking to innovate around what we did to make it even more immersive and more connective, and help more people find their people.
Right. it's just building community and helping people navigate through this.
Yes.
Are we planning 24 hours of programming every day? Or pretty much?
Potentially, yes, because we're a global event, and so we may well have as we use Eastern Daylight Time, New York time, as our time stamp for all of our events, and then we empower people to do the conversion of the time. And it's a challenge because, you know, some places like India where there's a half-hour mark, I mean, it's a challenge.
Right.
And yet we had to pick a time that would be easy for people to decode. Thankfully, I happened to be my time. I didn't have anything to do with it. We just picked New York time. I'm on the East Coast in the United States. But it's and we help people with that. On every Trello board we have a time converter button that you can click, that you can enter in the New York time and the time that it's listed in EDT, and then put your place in the world, and then it will do the conversion so you can figure it out. But yes, it is aspires to be potentially 24 hours a day. And that's why we need, you know, all hearts on deck here to do this together, you know, because I can stay up late. I don't know, pulling it all night. I've done that before, but my college days are long past.
Right. But I also encouraged to see the meetings, the follow-up meetings and the organizing meetings had about 100 people already.
Yes. So we have the assemblies, like I said, the next one's May 19th, and we have them at 6 a.m. EDT and 6 p.m. EDT will be the next one. Slightly different time change than earlier ones. So that's 12 noon CET.
Okay.
But what's happened is, as people have come to the assemblies, they come to our weekly meetings and they're coming to our special info sessions. For example, this week we have our first dedicated info sessions on Thursday for people who would like to present or artists who would like to offer their event in a convergence room. And we'll offer 60 to 90 minute information session. John Raymer and I will do that. And we have an offering that we hope will inform people, and then we take people's questions. And that's why we end up going many times longer, because we really want to honor everybody's questions, and we want to help people understand what is involved in being a presenter or an artist for World Unity Week, and encourage all of the things that will make that a successful experience. You know, if we depend on our presenters and artists to do Facebook events for each of their offerings, so that it goes into Facebook and it's promoted, and that we empower our presenters with information to promote your events. Like, you make sure that you're emailing people. I know you do an amazing job at that, letting people know, because while there will be new people that find your work, we're doing this for everyone. So it's very important that we cross promote the event and your and presenters' particular events. So we do many marketing programs. That's my background, is I help people to joyfully market their work and joyfully market their presentation, to promote it, so that if you want to have people in the Zoom room, that you will. So that's our intention, is to give you ways to do that, and using social media instead of social media using you. That's another thing you're really good at, is making sure that you're not depending on an algorithm for your friends to find your event. Actually doing, you know, some old-fashioned pick up the phone, or you know, really engage with your community to stay connected and let them know about what you're doing through World Unity Week.
Is there a theme for each day, or do you have a theme for each day?
Not particularly, because like Ben was saying, there's so many different things that are going on each day. The days the convergence rooms will be open is right now is June 22nd through June 25th. So that's 4 days of potentially 24 hours a day programming. The event begins June 19th with an opening ceremony. and
Mhm.
closes on the 26th with the closing ceremony. And we will have several plenaries on the 19th, 20th, and 21st. Plenaries are experiences that we all go into the same room to
Mhm.
experience together live. And we also may have some plenaries during the 4 days that the convergence rooms are open. But as this is an emergent co-creative thing, we don't have all of those details determined yet.
Right. Mhm.
But each room that's open for the 4 days, you could choose to have that. If you wanted to do that in the 4 days, within your room itself, you could say today's theme is,
I see.
so if you chose to do that. But as far as there being an overall one, I know World Yoga Day is on the 21st, and
Right.
that may become, a focal point for World Unity Week. I mean, I'm sure it will be,
Mhm.
because it's such a beautiful global event that will have plenaries around the World Yoga Day on the
Mhm.
21st. And then there's other things that are happening that day as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess 22nd through 25th, we can think about what the themes would be, right? So, and
Yes.
as Ben said, there are so many things that are happening, so many important days around the solstice, the summer solstice.
Yes, yes, there are. Mm.
That's beautiful. Uh, so look at what you created, Mama. So,
So I'm just adding a little glitter to it, and then a little communications, I
right,
hope, to it, because we get so excited because we know this is new story work. Like I'm
right.
50 years old, and I know that my entire life has been in preparation to do this beautiful collaborative global work.
Mhm.
Before I would work primarily with people in the United States before the pandemic, and now the pandemic is continues to challenge us in such painful ways, and yet it's provided such a gateway, a catalyst for us to meet and to connect and to
Right.
no longer wait to be physically together to collaborate the changes. And so this has been such a gift to be part of this work, to support my brothers like Ben Bowler and John Raymer from the Sign Network, and
Mhm.
so many others, everyone that comes through. Because in our excitement, there's a lot of terms. Even myself, like I'm talking, what's a steward? What's a presenter?
Mhm.
What's a
Right.
convergence room? And as a communicator by my work all my life, being very aware that somebody who's never heard of this before, this is overwhelming. And
Mhm.
I want us to constantly take a moment and breathe, and to come present to recognize that we really want to help people find their way into this beautiful offering, and
Mhm.
whether it's as a participant, that it may be enough for you. Maybe you just want to come and you want to see all of the events. And also for those of you who want to give something, who want to support what we're doing, we have so many ways for volunteerism. And we need that, and we depend upon that for the success. I love that quote, many hands make light work.
Right.
And this is light work. It's light work, the bright light that
Mhm.
we're beaming, and we want people to find that their way in. We want you to find your way in and not feel intimidated by the language of it, because it's new
Mhm.
to us as well,
Right.
and also that you don't have to be a tech savvy to have an experience with World Unity Week. You
Right.
just be you, and we'll help you find your way through. And hopefully the trainings and the information sessions that we have dedicated to the different roles will help you find your joy. That people say, well, what is needed the most? And my answer always is, even though I think, oh, we really need people to help in the hub, we really need people to help people, and I think, no, because that may not be somebody's joy. Just ask yourself, as you hear about these different opportunities, what are you curious about? What do you
Mhm.
think of what we're offering might bring you joy?
Right.
And I don't believe in the scarcity. I believe in the abundance, and where your joy leads you is the blessed place to be, is the place to give your gifts. And we're very grateful if you choose to do that.
So Rebecca asks, who are some of the groups of people that will be there? So I know Ben said 130 groups joined last year, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's so many. Oh my goodness. That's now I'm like thinking I'm on the spot. Like, okay, who are they all? Well, we have. I'm thinking of so many different people. There's Kikori is a group that does things. It has a wonderful app for educators, and they may be in the education room. That's how I met them last year. They have this amazing app that helps teachers, and there's just so many. Dr. Rao, you know some too. I'm trying to think. I mean, Sign Network is
Right.
how I know a lot of members of Sign, which I'm happen to be a Sign member, and you are as well, Dr. Silas. And there are hundreds of organizations connected there, and so there's a breadth. I mean, we have different people who are in ambassador roles for World Unity Week who are talking about how World Unity Week brings people these blessings. I think of Dot Maver from the Global Silent Minute, and Fumi Stewart-Johns from World Peace and May Peace Prevail on Earth, and the Peace Polls. There's just so many.
And Brother Phil will be there too with this.
Yes, and Brother Phil, Brother Phil and Sister Adriana Alvarez, and their amazing work with and for Indigenous peoples around the world, and the union of the condor, the quetzal, and the eagle. I mean, it's just, their work is extraordinary. They'll have a convergence room and be able to share treaties. We're intending to have treaties for people to sign during World Unity Week.
Awesome.
Come to a Zoom room, learn about what's going on in the Amazon, and here's a treaty to help cooperate and collaborate a solution.
Together, creating this unity of all life.
Yes, so beautiful.
Yeah, Pastor Tracy says, thank you very much. Much needed assistance and cooperation.
Beautiful.
So any last thoughts you would want to share with our viewers to bring your gifts?
Yes, bring your gifts, bring your light, bring your love, and come and join us in the Zoom room. We have our information sessions, our assemblies. May 19th is the next one, but you don't have to wait until then. Check out worldunityweek.org and register, and you can express the different levels of interest using that interest form when you fill it out, and then you'll begin receiving email communications about different opportunities, and including this Thursday's presenter program. If you go to facebook.com/World Unity Week /events, you'll see all of the events that we have scheduled in the next 2 weeks for our trainings, and you can come. You don't even have to know that you want to be a presenter. Come and just hear some of the language, hear from some of the organizations that are going to be presenting here, and learn. And just open your heart and your awareness, your presence to what may be pulling you and calling you into World Unity Week.
Yes. So are the presentations open already? You can submit presentations right
Actually, you can express interest to present, but we will have the formal change a little bit, hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow, where you'll be able to express the name of your presentation and a description and submit a photograph. Right now, if you go today, you can just check present.
Right.
But starting probably, like I said, by the end of the day tomorrow, you'll be able to express your specific interest and request what day part you would like to, or time you'd like to present, and that kind of thing, to help the stewards schedule you.
So are the plenary presentations invited presentations, or do you have, can people submit for plenary presentations as well? Those
are being organized, and I think Ben Bowler has been, organizing some of those. So um, what we're looking for with the plenaries is really major collaboration. That's really important, and that's something that I suggest for presenters as well, is to look for ways to fortify your offering. Perhaps it's with another presenter around the same topic, is have it be fortified. So the plenaries are coming into view based on collaboration. And so if you have a large collaborative effort, you can send an email to me, Becky at joyfuel.org, JOYFUEL.org, and I'd be happy to share that with our Constellation team. We are starting to hone in on it, though, so I'm not sure if we'd be able to honor that, but we certainly would welcome you to come during the 4 days and offer your program, because we have really amazing programs. A plenary isn't better than a non-plenary. It's just a time that we all come together in the same room. So
no, it's a beautiful concept, coming together for the first few days and then splitting up and looking at the details and then coming together again at the end. I think it's beautiful what you're organizing. Everyone's saying this sounds like a beautiful convergence. It's absolutely needed at this time. As you said, the pandemic has been a shared experience for all of humanity. We feel the suffering of the others intimately, regardless of where they are. And so the healing also has to be like that. We all come together to do it.
Creating spaces for that. And right now it's Zoom, and it's these convergence rooms where we can talk about not only the issues, but the things that can be done, that need to be done, and have a different energy towards the healing solutions than the problem. But we do need to allow time to express the grief and the pain. And that's another thing that we can do in a convergence room. Is I aspire to hold rooms that create sacred space for people in a very real and legitimate experience, in a very real way. And what does that look like? It's sacred listening. It's listening to each other. It's listening to our sisters, like the Awana Colectiva in Puya, Ecuador, of how they were believed to be extinct. The government reported them as extinct. They are not extinct. They are here. And we've been able to gift to them different things to help them do the work they're doing of restoration and healing in their humanity, and also in their physical environment in the rainforest. And it hurts to hear. And yet when you feel that, then okay, then I have to be part of the solution somehow. And not one of us knows necessarily what the solution is, but we will figure it out. We will. And we don't have to wait for any organization or government to do that. I mean, organizations collaborating is a beautiful blessing. And so having these experiences together where we allow the sadness and the pain, we honor the truth of storytelling, the truth of storytelling, and then we open to what could be a potential healing solution. And then we experiment and work towards that. That's what this past year has felt like to me, is like the biggest experiment, of wow, who would have known that we would end up in these rooms together, and that I would meet you, Dr. Silish, and that we would have this beautiful conversation about what's possible for us when we listen and come together in a convergent space. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yes, thank you very much. I will have some suggestions for you, and I'll be sending emails to you.
Please do.
There's some amazing people who have been working on healing and actually showing it working, in the real world. So I would like to connect them with you.
Yeah, I would love that. Thank you.
So thank you for everything you bring. Thank you for your presence, for your grace, and your spirit.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and I look forward to working with you until we reach unity, right?
That's right. We're all on our way up. Up we are. We're going. And please do give my love to your granddaughter.
Oh, I will. Thank you. I will. I have to pick her up today from school. So,
Oh, oh. So much love. Thank you.
any last words you want to
Oh,
leave our viewers with?
I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the gifts of all of our viewers here, where you are in the world, the light that you are, and the gift of your life. And just send love from my heart to each of you. And just thank you for being here. This is such a challenging time that we're living through. And it's such a time of great possibility and hope. And we're doing this together, this new story building, new storytelling, new story making. And so I'm grateful for the role that each of us is playing in that.
On that note, thank you very much.